Hey YouTube, how are you doing? I figured I'd use this video to talk a little bit about Qi energy and what Qi is and what it can do for you, even though it is already doing something for you, whether you are aware of it or not. So Qi energy is known by many different names across many different cultures and has been known about across the ages of history. So the Hindus call it prana. I'm sure many people will know it by prana. It could be simply called energy, ether, soul, spirit. Also known more scientifically as bioenergy, bioelectricity, biophotons. I think these are all roughly describing what we know as Qi. Now, there are two polar opposites of Qi. I put this down to somewhat how you could describe as positive and negative ions, and the positive would be what we describe as Yang Qi, and the negative would be what we describe as Yin Qi. Now, from what I have read, and if you've done any amount of reading on Qi energy, how to manipulate Qi energy, bring in Qi energy, give out Qi energy, contain Qi energy, and compress and strengthen Qi energy, then you will know that Yin Qi is the Qi that your spirit is made of. So if you have a astral projection experience, for example, an out-of-body experience, then it is your Yin energy. And everything that is physical is Yang energy. So your body is Yang and your spirit is Yin. However, the earth is also Yin, and the atmosphere and the heavens are Yang. So it is a little bit more complicated than just the Yin and the Yang. Now, in order to be fully powerful as a spirit, as a soul, you need to have a perfect balance of Yin and Yang Qi. And in order to achieve that, now, perhaps if anybody knows any more methods or easier ways, you could comment to help anybody watching this video. But in my own practice and from what I have read, you do need to dedicate some amount of your time to meditation and possibly also physical practices as well, the likes of Tai Chi, yoga, Qigong, Kung Fu, these kinds of things, because these will help prepare your body for the extra circulation of Qi, I suppose, because it's all about becoming as flexible as possible and strengthening yourself to a level where you can take that amount of Qi running through you, because it is very much like an electrical current. So you can take in Qi and you can give out Qi, and as I said, you take in Yin Qi from the earth and this strengthens your spirit. However, I will say also, you take in Yang Qi from the heavens, from the atmosphere. So when you breathe, your oxygen is Yang Qi. However, you're not really taking that in unless you are doing it consciously, because there are methods of storing the Qi and strengthening the Qi that you have stored in your lower dantian, or what is also known as the navel chakra. So about 4 fingers below the belly button is your navel chakra, and in this area we can store Qi, compress it and store even more Qi to strengthen it and become more powerful in terms of the Qi that you can give out and the power of the Qi that you can give out. Now, I know this could be a bit of a crazy subject for many people watching this, and you absolutely don't have to believe me, because I am sure, I know that when I first started reading about any of this kind of stuff, it sounded like absolute BS nonsense, and there was no way that I would have ever got my head round thinking that there'd be a time that I believed in any of this and I would be practicing all this kind of stuff religiously as well. But you know, your own experiences confirm your own beliefs, don't they? So That is the only way that you would believe this, by the way. If you don't know about any of this kind of stuff, the only way that you would believe in any of this kind of stuff, like really 100% believe, I imagine, is for you to do the practices, do the meditation, perhaps take up some yoga and qigong, and after a prolonged, dedicated, consistent time of doing these things religiously, daily as well, you will actually physically feel the effects of the qi. You will feel the qi coming in and going out. It will feel like you're breathing and just giving it out, like you're constantly in a bubble of qi. It's a really odd experience. It's like your body is a wave of energy. This is why you see, actually, you know, when you see people performing the Tai Chi movements and all that. I mean, I imagine that the practitioners who do perform these Tai Chi exercises, who are the masters, who are teaching a class, for example, they really do feel that qi. Because I know that when I do qigong, I don't just do the movements, I can feel that flow of qi, and it facilitates those movements. So it's not like you're just you practice at first, you learn the moves and you practice the moves, but eventually it's the qi which determines how you flow with the moves, and you can really feel that. And it's very profound when you do become sensitive to that side of yourself and to that side of the universe. It opens up a whole new world of compassion, actually, because it just changes your whole perception. But enough about that, because we were talking about qi. So, as I said, there are ways to bring in more qi. So you bring in the yin qi, regardless. You're going to bring that in because you are connected to the earth. However, you do need to be grounded to the earth to do that. And at some point, hopefully soon, I will do another video on how we can ground ourselves to the earth, different methods, and what I find works best for me. But then there's the other side of it, which is to bring in more yang qi, because as I said, you do need a balance. And it does get very, actually, if you go really into the hardcore information that's in the ancient Chinese scriptures, it does get quite complicated when it comes to breathing techniques that will bring in the qi, the yang qi, sorry. Because the yin qi actually isn't really a problem. You want to practice bringing in the yang qi, and the yin qi will be brought in anyway. And eventually you're going to bring that yang qi to such a level that the amount of yin qi is going to increase, because it needs to be equal, because it's like magnetism inside of your body. So the yin qi does need to equate to the amount of yang qi that you have. But then you eventually need to combine those. And this is going to go into an extremely complicated subject, but not on this video. I'm just going to do a real basic video here. So you take in the yin qi regardless, and there's specific breathing techniques that you can do to increase the amount of yang qi that you're bringing into yourself. And I will do some videos on the different breathing techniques, because there's about 4 or 5 main ones which I have personally found work the best and have direct effects. However, I'm not sure whether you do need to have quite a prolonged period of time of daily meditation before you will actually feel the effects of this, because I know that's what it took for me. It took a very long time. It took years of doing daily meditation before all of a sudden it was just one night, it just turned on. It was very strange, and I could actually feel all of the energy, and then I began to actually see it as well. But anyway, there are breathing techniques to bring in extra yang qi, and I will do a video on those different breathing techniques. After you've brought in the extra yang qi and you've mastered the art of how to do so, you then want to be able to compress that yang qi, because your body is like an extremely amazing biological computer, right? So it's almost like you're an antenna to the God consciousness, and you can close yourself off, or you can open yourself up to it. And you can even exist in sort of semi-states where you don't, I personally think that a lot of people are connected to it on a random level. So like sometimes they're shut off and sometimes they're completely open to it, and they have these crazy experiences and they've got no way of explaining it. But to a lot of people it makes complete sense when they do explain it. But So this biological computer that we have, biological antenna computer, input-output device, I think we're here to experience this beautiful existence that we have, and that is the input that we're giving to the universe, but it's also the output. And the input that comes into us is somewhat, on some level, the chi that comes into us. So the chi is information, in a sense. So let me just try and think about how I wanted to word that properly, because I said that a little bit muddled up and I didn't explain it very well. So I'm going to have to make a video explaining this video, probably. But it is a real thing anyway. Chi is everything. Everything is chi. Everything contains chi, whether it is yin yang or a combination of the two. You definitely need to combine the two, and there will be fully detailed instructional videos coming up on how to breathe in that yang chi, how to compress the yang chi, and then how to balance it with the yin chi and combine the two together. When you are able to combine the two together, and again, as I said, it's going to sound like absolute nonsense to anybody that doesn't understand this subject. I totally understand. It sounds like nonsense. So you can comment and, you know, debate on the issue. But as I said, unless, you know, you put in the practice and you experience these things, you really will feel it physically. But unless that happens to you, it's going to be very hard, difficult to believe. Or you could meet somebody who has practiced this, and they will be able to show you very simple things like how to put yang chi out of your hands, and you will feel that. It feels like an electrically sort of tingly sensation, or a warm pushing feeling. You know, you can pull limbs and push limbs. It's again very profound, you know. So there'll be videos coming up. This is a very basic definition of what chi is, and you know, like as I said, I've been looking into this for nearly 10 years, and I know that I still don't know enough. Okay, everyone, you know, it's a never-ending learning process. But there'll be videos coming up on the breathing techniques to bring in the yang chi, bring in the extra yang chi, to compress it and store it. So this is what I was saying actually, yeah. So you can store chi in your body. So the largest amount of electricity used in the body is in two different organs, the brain and the intestines. These two are definitely connected together, and this is why this is also a health and a vegan channel, because I do believe, and I know that a lot of people don't combine those two together, the art of chi practice and cultivating chi energy and veganism, because I do think that the two go hand in hand. I believe one is a natural state of man and the other is using your knowledge to enhance the natural state of man to a superior level. So that might be all I want to say on this particular video about the subject, because what I will then talk about in the next upcoming videos is what we can do with our chi. I will tell you that you do have 6 points, very much like the Star of David, on your body. You have between the legs, you have the legs, on the feet, on the soles of the feet. You have the palms of the hands, which I know is obvious in its religious depiction here. 2 points on the hands, and 1, the fountainhead, which all take and give chi. But it does take some practice, and it does take learning some breathing techniques in order to learn how to bring in chi into the hands and push it out of the hands. And that's really the base, actually, is you start with the hands, then the feet, and then the last one. So you've got the full spectrum. You are the full Star of David, energetically speaking. But we will talk about this in upcoming videos. I know this was a little bit of a ramble. I just thought, you know, I really, this is something that I'm mostly interested in, along with health and nutrition and diet and what the natural state of the human being is. My real main thing has been meditation, spirituality, chi practices, and that kind of stuff, because my absolute goal is, you know, if search on Google and YouTube for Qi masters and Qi healers, and you will see, and like I said, it's going to look unbelievable if you're not familiar with this subject, but you know, you can watch it anyway and you can judge it by what you see. There's one particular video which is very, very interesting about a guy who's not called this, but they call him John Chiang, Qi master John Chiang, and you will see him doing some incredible feats. Now, I will tell you that it's fairly easy to have access to the ability to heal with your Qi. It's not hard to build up to that level. To do what John Chiang does, I would imagine takes a very long time, and this is really what my main goal is, because it would be incredible to be able to heal people at the level that he is able to heal people. He does still exist. I need to find this man. But anyway, I'll leave that video for now. And if anyone wants some free Qi getting sent to them, because this is possible too, if you understand that the universe is really holographic in nature, and that everything is truly an illusion, and that we are psychically, telepathically connected to everything that exists, then you will also understand that if somebody has been practicing these practices and is able to manipulate Qi, cultivate Qi, store it, compress it, strengthen it, and give it back out, then it can be done mentally also. So if anybody is in dire situations and would like what you could call this, in a way, prayer, I would definitely say that it is comparable to what prayer is, but it's Qi breathing, and it is prayer. It's prayer in conjunction with visualization and Qi breathing. But if anybody wants some Qi sent to them, please comment, and I will add you into my meditation time. Obviously, if 100 people commented, I'm not going to be able to do that because I need the meditation time for myself also. But I will happily, you know, send as much loving feelings as I can get out there. And I know this is a bit of a crazy subject, but I think there's so much craziness in the world anyway, but we need to combine all of this craziness together, because altogether it does fit into a very lovely picture, which does, it really does make sense. And we are definitely far more powerful than what we have ever known. But this very basic video has become an extremely long video of me just essentially ranting. So YouTubers, I will leave you with that. And as I said, I will make some more productive videos upcoming about what methods we can use to get into a great state of health, because it's not just about diet, it's about spirituality, emotions and mentality as well. So thank you very much, YouTube. As always, if you do want more content like this, but you're going to get it anyway, please subscribe, and if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button, comment below if you would like to comment below, like I said, and yeah, that's it. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, YouTube.